Welcome to For Collectors.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our channel, For Collectors. That's For Collectors like you. I'm Theo, and I will be the host tonight for tonight's Sunday night live stream. It is going to be a lot of fun. I have two great guests in the lobby right now, Chris Sewell and the Texas Snowman. I see Ruben Snyder's already cheering Snowman, Snowman. So tonight on the live stream, we're actually going to play the investor. It's called the investment match game. Okay. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to give them two choices. For example, the 52 mantle versus the 51 Bowman mantle. Which of those two cards have bigger upside to increase more in the future? And they both answered the question separately before we recorded, and they don't know what the other guy put. So sometimes we have a match. Sometimes we're going to have an argument. But as always, I'm going to have the chat chime in with their answers. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Let me bring them in right now. Hey, Chris. What's up, Jeremy? Welcome.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Thank you guys for coming. The first thing I want to say is Jeremy and Chris stepped up to the plate. They're one of the sponsors for Vintage Trade Night this year. Thank you guys for doing that. It's much appreciated.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I really do appreciate it. And that's what I want to talk about here is, Jeremy, to start off, you guys had your first year starting an auction house basically from scratch. What's one of the biggest things you guys learned this year?
You want to go first, Chris?
I learned that Jeremy's very good at learning how to run an auction house from scratch, because going in, he didn't know anything and I didn't know much. And a year in, it's gone way better than I would have thought it would have gone. And that's all Jeremy. So that's what I've learned.
Okay.
I always assumed Jeremy was a bit of a fool and fairly limited, but he's proven otherwise here.
Very small brain, low capacity. Yeah. Totally. Thanks, kind of. Appreciate that. No, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, man, I have learned a lot. Like Chris said, I've never owned an auction house before, so it was all brand new. And it's funny looking back because I had this. I've always been gung ho, but over the years, Chris has really reined me in to be more cautious and optimistically conservative, I guess you could say, right? So, but I had this grand plan to start it in like 2.5 months, and it ended up taking like 10.5. But I'm glad it did, because I got all the bugs worked out. You only get one impression for a first impression, right? So I learned that it takes a lot more work than one might think to own and operate an auction house. And I also learned just how strong the hobby is. I mean, I wasn't ever questioning that, but we have some amazing bidders and consigners that just made it possible to have it in the first place. So I'm really grateful for them. And I've talked to Chris countless hours about collaborating together and what we think would be good for the auction. And what did you like about these 5 auctions? What did you not like? And let's take everything we like and not do the things we don't like, right? So it was fun. It was good.
That's really cool.
Thank you to the commenters and Peacemaker cards there, and shout out to Mookie Chilson, who I just saw you had on there.
Yeah,
a great commenter.
Yeah, Mookie and Peacemaker both said that they both made purchases already to the new auction house, and they said they had a great experience. So.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I think the champ so far is Ruben Snyder.
Oh, really?
Yes, he said Snowman, 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 and Chris.
Thank you. What's up with that, man?
Yeah, he said that you're the comic book guy from The Simpsons. That's where they came up with the character.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Yeah, Snowman, and Chris. Ruben, man. What's up, buddy?
Oh, man. He's so wise.
So we only have an hour tonight. That's why I'm kind of getting right into it here. And, to be honest with you guys, I like to mix it up a little bit. Sometimes we really focus, and it's what the channel's about. We really focus on the collector topics. we rarely ever talk about investment type topics, and we're going to tread lightly on that tonight, in my opinion. But I would like to hear, since Chris, it's always been part of your name. What does investor mean to you personally, as far as how you invest in sports cards? Could you answer that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very rare where I would I'm like, I want to invest in a card, and I go out and buy the card, and I just put it in the closet and never, because I'm investing in it. I don't really do that, and I don't think many people actually do. For me, investing is like as I've become more knowledgeable and I've been in the hobby a long time, my PC, it just has become cards that I also feel will retain long-term value and are more likely to go up in the long term. And so I sort of, my collector and investor side have sort of morphed into one. The things I like to collect also generally have that rules, with exceptions, but.
So I would describe it as more of a hybrid, where you want to collect a certain player, you want to collect a certain player's card, and you're kind of doing your research of, oh, okay, PSA 5 might be a better buy than a PSA 2, or this condition versus that condition. Is that more of okay, this is a smart buy for me. I could spend $1,000 on this card and not have to worry. Is that?
Yeah, that's a good way to define it. I mean, it's just sort of, it's more like I collect, but there's the investing side of it in the back of my mind also playing a role.
Right.
Yeah, and also, and as a dealer, that also plays a role. Like, I'll buy a collection, and there'll be cards in there that'll say, you know what, this card I feel is more likely to go up than down in the next couple of years. I'm going to just hold on to that and maybe see what happens, as opposed to sell it right now. So it's more of like a piece of the puzzle as opposed to like its own separate thing.
Okay. Jeremy, same question for you. Do you actually have cards you've put away for 5-10 years, and the whole point was that you think they're going to go up, and that it was an investment for you?
Yeah, I have. And really, same vein for Chris. There's really a plethora of cards that you could say would have a good likelihood of going up long term, right? And if I can do that and collect what I like, so when I go look at my investments, that I like to PC them as well, and I love them, and I'm fine if I keep them for a long time, even if the market's crazy on them at the moment, then I like to collect that way as well. And one thing I really like to do is I like to keep one of the best cards in every purchase that I do. Sometimes there'll be one and I'm like, I really don't want that card, or I already have it, or something like that, but yeah, so largely the same. I like to PC, or I like to invest in things that I enjoy to PC as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever, just even in the past, have you guys ever done the strategy of, oh, Kevin Durant rookie, or so-and-so's rookie, I'm going to buy 10 of those, and I'm going to put 10 away? Have you guys, if you, either of you guys ever bought multiples of a card with that strategy, even in the past?
I've done that many times and have not had much luck with it.
Yeah. I did that with Jordan Alvarez, and I think it could have been good if he would just stay healthy, right? But that was more for fun, right? And once I saw that he was going down a trend of getting hurt, I moved my big cards of his. So I don't really play that game very often, where I prospect or buy players that could break both knees next year and never play the same again. You know what I mean? It's very volatile. Now, you can hit big home runs, but you can also take loss pretty quick. So I tend to invest in other things that are much more stable and secure, and great card that'll likely loosely always go up at some point in time, probably, but has a better tendency, and they're not going to play bad because it's vintage or it's like a Pujols or something,
Yeah.
When is Bobby Bonilla's contract up?
I think he might have 5 more years. Mookie's an expert on that. Mookie, let us know.
Yeah, what an agent! I got to get that guy's agent.
All right.
All right. Dog ate my card collector asked a question for you guys. Is the investment choice, if you guys choose to invest, is it based on player, card scarcity, or something else in general? I assume you guys are going to say player, but go ahead.
It's all of that. I mean, player is probably the number one, but yeah, it's got to be a rare card, and a card that's going to retain demand in the future. There are a lot of rare cards that nobody's going to care about in the future. But
exactly,
it's got to be. It's all those things: the player, the card scarcity, and likeliness of future demand, which usually means rookie card or a sort of important rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it really goes down a rabbit hole too, because you could say, like, I have several PSA 10 63 Fleer baseball cards that are going to be flowing through the auction. And, on one side of the coin, you can say it's a PSA 10, totally invest in that. On the other side of the coin, what if 5 more pop up? What'll happen to the price, right? So the likelihood is that 5 more won't pop up, but there's always that risk of the pop could double and then the price goes down and you're stuck at the premium market. But there's the other side. It's a PSA 10. PSA is very strict. Will there ever be another one? ? And there's certainly more than a handful of collectors that would enjoy that card. So there's a rabbit hole for every facet you could ask about that. You know what I mean? But it definitely depends on the player. To Chris's point, I'm a huge T206 collector. I love T206. And for a card that doesn't really matter, or a player that doesn't really matter in the hobby greatly anyway, it niches your market buyer pool to the guys that also care about that player. So you have to be more selective in how you sell it when you go to liquidate your investment.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Shooty Babbitt, is Shooty Babbitt, is that a real player?
Shooty Babbitt. Oh. I don't know. Is it? Yeah, I guess so.
I was going to just ask you guys. I'll take this one more question, then I want to get to the match game, and then we can do questions at the end if we have time left. Orlando asked, it's a fair question. Do you guys bid on cards in your own auction for your personal collection? So.
Great question. So I have the admin account, obviously, so I can go in and do admin things in the auction platform. So I need to, and I gave myself a $1 max bid limit because I never have and never will bid on a single item in my auction house. And I will tell you that there has been a bunch of cards that I'm watching sell, and it's painful because I know I can't have it because it's being sold in my auction, and I won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. And the reason why is because there's so much negative stigma around auction houses and auction owners. And are they shill bidding? Are they, is the owner telling people to bid on? So I don't touch that at all. Right. I don't bid on anything in my auction house. So there's all kinds of stuff that I would love to collect that I just can't because it's in my auction.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I don't like the fact Golden Auction allows shill bidding. I think a lot of collectors don't like to use them because of that. So I think that's a great policy to have personally. Yeah. So let's get right into it, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to hear what the chat's thoughts are on this too. So here we go. So let me give let me give everybody watching a little background. Chris had a video about a week and a half ago where he took a time machine back. And I think he took it back to right before COVID, and he had like $10,000 or $100,000 where he could invest in cards just off the top of his head that he thought would go up. And then he had to sell those cards in 2023 and rebuy new cards. And then he was going to see how much he made in 2025. So it was a really fun video, but it made me think it's all fun to play that game when you know a lot of the results. Well, why don't we play the game without knowing the results? So what I did was I gave them each 16 this or that. Basically, which of these two options will go up more in the next 10 years? Essentially, if you're buying the 51 Bowman mantle in a PSA 2, you're buying the 52 mantle in a PSA 2, right? So it's same condition, same grade, and it's based on percentage. It's not based on total dollars, because obviously the 52 mantle will be worth more money. It's based on what would be a better investment. So you buy it today and you can't sell it for 10 years. Hopefully that makes sense for everybody. All right. So first up, we got the 51 Bowman rookie mantle versus the 52. Does anybody have an opinion on that? Let me see here. We got a bunch of 52s. Anybody want to go with 51?
I don't see any 51s yet.
No. All right. Let's get to it right now. You both picked 52. So it seems like this was a no-brainer. You guys feel like this was a no-brainer for you guys?
Honestly, go ahead, Chris. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so it not exactly. It's it's sort of like a question of like which is the safer bet versus which has more variance. I think the 52 is definitely the safer bet. I think, and is more likely to do better. But I think 51 might have more upside if you were just wanting to do that. Because, I mean, the hobby might, recognize that it's the true rookie more and care more about that over the next 10 years, and it shoots web. So that potential exists, I think, more with the 51. But I think the 52 is the safer bet.
Yeah. So my answer would have been 51. however many years ago, I don't remember the year exactly, that 51 started to get more notoriety and went up. It went up pretty good chunk there because it was grossly undervalued, grossly. But since, with all the hype of the $12.6 million 9.5 sale, and it's literally the holy grail of post-war, 52 was the reason I picked that, for those reasons. But there's definitely a lot of upside in the 51, and I think it has a lot of room to go up more because that is truly his rookie, not the 52. It's his Topps rookie, right? So, yeah. But yeah, I had to pick 52 on that though.
Okay. I think that's fair points. A couple guys did step up and say 51.
Yeah, I mean,
rookie, 51 is reasonable.
51 is a great answer. It's a great choice. I mean, I thought about it like before I put my answer. You know what I mean? So
they're both great images.
They really are. I think this is a fun one here. Better in the next 10 years if you invested in SGC cards or CGC cards. So if the chat wants to answer this question, feel free to answer this question. So before I put their answer on the screen. So Chris, what's your without giving away your answer, what's your overall thoughts on SGC right now, personally?
Well, I've always been I'm generally a PSA guy, but I've always been a big fan of SGC, and they've always been my solid number 2, and I've always liked their service a lot. I think it's been a superior service in the past, but I'm concerned about them with some recent trends.
Okay, let's we got some CGCs, we got some SGCs. SGC's leading the pack right now. We have a split. It's not a match. So
I had a feeling this might be one where we differed on, Chris. Yeah. Like, I know why you picked CGC and I know why I picked SGC. So that's interesting. Yeah.
Dylan's mad that this was a question. He goes, I didn't know they made cards. I'm so sorry, Dylan. I promise this is the only one like this. Okay, Dylan. So Jeremy, why don't you say why you ended up picking SGC?
Yeah, I mean, prior to PSA buying it, I feel like Chris might have answered SGC as well. Not trying to speak for you, but CGC is definitely growing at the highest rate of growth. I would say CGC is growing rapidly, mostly in the Pokemon scene, but also cards too. As long as their grades hold up, I could totally see Chris being right and it being CGC. But I picked SGC because, there is a possibility PSA could just kill SGC, and they eliminated a massive competitor, right, by purchasing them and kind of killing it. But I feel like there's such a loyal following of SGC graders and buyers that PSA is going to continue to build the brand. And because they own it and they're going to make money, they're going to continue to build it, and it will still be above CGC. So that's why I answered SGC.
Yeah, I think he's trying to troll you here, Chris. John said, "Yeah, if you're collecting Charizard, maybe it's CGC."
Troll away, man. Troll away.
Charizard's hot right now.
He is. He's coming up on the list, guys. So, all right. I don't want to get the chat too angry. I hope you're right. I hope SGC sticks around for the long haul, and I hope they put some money into it, and don't keep doing status quo with it.
Right.
All right. Here we go. This was a hot button, 2 or 3 years ago, whenever, Flair versus the star rookie card of Jordan. Now, do either of you guys own either of these cards?
I own a Fleer.
Okay.
I do not own either, actually.
Oh, nope. Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I would love to own the Flair because I was a huge Jordan fan growing up, so I would love to own the Flair. Let's hear from the chat. What do you guys think? Which of these has more upside in the next 10 years as far as what'll be more expensive here? Let's see what you guys said. You guys, we have a match. You guys both went with the Flair. So, Jeremy, if you want to start this one, why did you feel like the Flair?
So for a long time, probably a decade, you could buy a PSA 10 Jordan for what, $23K, right in that range. Right in there. And it went all the way up to $650K and then $500 and $400 and $300. Now it's floating around $200K for a PSA 10 in that card. Star, man, I could have picked up a Star 101 Jordan like that for peanuts compared to what it is now, because only BVG or BGS graded it at the time. When PSA started grading it, which was fairly recently, the price exploded. So anybody who invested in that card right then, hats off to you. But, you look at the comp history on the Star card, it's exploded. And I think personally that it's inflated way too high, and I think it's actually going to trend lower at some point. Now, it's an iconic card. It's a great card. It technically, depending on how you look at it, would be considered as rookie, a true rookie. But I certainly consider the 86 Fleer as rookie too. But anyway, so I think Star has a real risk of coming down over time. Once there's more PSA pops out there, then the Fleer is already an iconic image. It's an iconic card. I think it's safer. I'd place my bet on the Fleer.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. Of we recently had a spike on it, and now it could go go backwards. Actually, the other thing I don't love about the Star, isn't there like 3 or 4 Jordans in that set, or how many Jordans are there?
There's 3 in the base set, and then I think that he has inserts as well, or not inserts. I don't know what you call it, subsets.
Yeah, there's several. Yeah, there's several.
Was this a no-brainer for you, Chris, or was this?
It's actually kind of like the Mantle. Like the Star, I think, has more upside and more downside. It's a little riskier in both directions. The Fleer, I think, is a safer bet. It's been the iconic card forever. I mean, in the Fleer, he's dunking. In the Star, he's rebounding. What do you think of Michael, what a great rebounder.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't – that's one of the most epic images ever. I mean, it's just awesome. Yeah.
That is a good point. I like that. We're up to 71 people in here tonight. Thank you guys for coming, spending your Sunday night with us. All right, let's go to the next one here. This one here, so it's cut off a little bit. It's a Udge. So it's Judge cards versus Ohtani cards. I hope Dylan's still here. So Judge cards versus Ohtani cards. This is really interesting. Let's hear it in the chat what you guys think will be a better – will go up more in the next 10 years. Which of these is a better investment, Ohtani or Judge? And you guys think Judge is going to definitely win the MVP this year, or you think the guy out there in the Mariners could get it?
Judge is I haven't looked at the numbers, but Judge is just he's too good.
Yeah. So we got let's see here. We got an Ohtani, Showtime. We got 3 judges here. Let's see what you guys did. Do we have a match? We have a match. You guys match. You guys both said Ohtani. So we'll start with Chris. What was your thought process, Chris?
This is close. These are 2 like just so far ahead of the game. They're just 2 super studs here. I think Ohtani's a little more unique of a player, and will have that'll be relevant in the long term. He's also started younger. Judge started his career pretty late, so his career totals probably won't get like insane numbers, even though he's putting up ridiculous seasons. Yeah. But I think Ohtani just has a slight edge here for me.
True. Okay. For me, it was quite simply the last person to do what Ohtani's doing was Babe Ruth.
Yeah.
I mean,
unicorn.
Iconic, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hard to argue with the unicorn debate. And I think he just – the fact that he went to 2 different teams and now he's on the Dodgers, which is obviously behind the Yankees, in my opinion, is the second biggest fan base for collecting. Mm-hmm. I just think he gained those Angels fans and now gained the Dodgers fans. I feel like it might have actually helped him actually a little bit.
Yeah, and the one thing that made me think, other than Judge being a very, very good player, one of the best, he is a Yankee, and as we all know, Yankees are in general the most valuable team as far as what team you could play for. But to your point, Ohtani being on the Dodgers, that's a close number 2. You know what I mean? So I just didn't feel that him being a Yankee trumped what he's doing on and off on the field and batting, right? So
a great point. The Japanese market's huge. I agree with that.
Too. Yeah, that too. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to the next one. This one's interesting. I think a couple guys are in here that'd be interested in this one. Football cards or soccer cards? So this is pretty general here, but it's an interesting question. So put in the chat what you think.
So if I could, Chris, what do you think I said? Because you're a huge
you said. I am not. As we talked earlier, you're a little limited, so I know what you said.
Mentally limited, right? Yeah.
Football or football? Let's see if we have a match. We have a match, and to be honest with you, the chat, we have a match. Soccer cards, both of you guys. Yep.
For mocking you earlier, Jeremy, I apologize.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so Jeremy, why did you go with soccer?
I mean, truly worldwide, soccer is the biggest sport, right? I mean, soccer is huge in every country basically. So I just think that it's grossly undervalued. I think that there's going to be a lot more soccer investors and collectors coming to the scene, especially after word gets around more to the rest of the world, more of how valuable cards have become. So I just really feel like soccer is a market that has not came even close to reaching its potential value that it really arguably should be right now. So I felt like it had a lot more room than football, and a way bigger market if and when they decide to start investing in the cards. And who knows, 1986, they did a study about 1986 Microsoft investment versus basketball, and the basketball would have made you more. So it's like, if they do a big news break about that, or Netflix series or something about soccer, maybe that blows up, and then who knows what happens, right? But I just felt like it had a lot of room to go up.
And Chris, you're pretty bullish on soccer, right? In general.
Yeah, like long term. Yeah. I mean, it's who knows what's going to happen. But if you go back to like 1990 and had asked this question about like baseball versus basketball, everyone would have laughed if you had said basketball. Yeah. Baseball was 10x basketball, or, and that's kind of what I see today. Like, football is, obviously way bigger than soccer in the sports card world, but the like Jeremy said, the worldwide, Fanatics is pushing worldwide stuff here. Football has had a hard time expanding into other countries, whereas soccer is everywhere. So I think there's just a lot more upside potential for soccer.
Dude, he said soccer.
That's a common, opinion.
Yeah, I honestly, soccer is like my least favorite sport of all. So I'm with you there, but I think it's a better investment long term.
I've played soccer my whole life, so y'all can.
Yeah. Is it even a sport? Soccer? I mean,
sort of.
I think it's just for kids.
Yeah.
I'm laughing though. Mookie said I'm long on pickleball.
Pickleball's on the rise, man. There's a pickleball league right around the corner from me.
The crazy thing, I live right by the Nationals, where they have the national pickleball tournament now every year. It's huge, man. It's massive. I can barely get to my house when that thing's going on.
Yeah, it's huge. It's gonna take. I don't think tennis has a chance against pickleball, to be honest. But the other thing that was, I thought Blackjack's comment was good. The thing about football right now is the quarterbacks. That's true. The quarterbacks is the only thing people care about. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is
crazy.
It's way too heavy on the quarterback value. I mean, you look at Christian McCaffrey's value, one of the best running backs versus one of the best quarterbacks. It's nowhere close, nowhere. So hopefully that evens out at some level, because none of the other positions get the love quarterbacks do monetarily anyway.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. We got the Trout rookie card versus the Luka, or do people call him Lulu? The Lulu rookie card here. So what do you we'll let the chat chime in on this one here, but these were both two big cards that kind of went crazy during the pandemic and kind of came down. So Jeremy, are you a Luka fan?
I am. I'm still hurting inside because I live in Dallas that he was traded in the middle of the night. But yes, I am a Luka fan. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we should hear from Theo. What do you think? You got to dodge all these.
Right, yeah.
I am going to chime in down the road. I have a couple that I'm pretty passionate about, but I think this is a weird one because of Trout's situation right now. I think like a lot of people have soured to all his injuries and things like that. So I do know he's going to get in the Hall of Fame no matter what, even if he retired today pretty much. But Luka on the Lakers now, and they're talking about getting rid of Braun this offseason. I think it could actually. I think I'd probably lean towards Luka personally. So here's you guys were split. We don't have a match.
Oh, Chris, I did not think you would say Trout on that one.
That's what the picture. Okay, I see. You put the picture on the one we picked. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So why did you pick Trout?
This one was very close. I mean, Trout's established. Luka is still, I don't know, what is he, 7 years into his career? I think Trout's going to be like Griffey. He was remembered. Griffey was the best player in the 90s. He did not win a title. He when he hit his early 30s, he significantly dropped off a cliff.
True.
And I think Trout's basically the same. He was the best player in the 2010s, no doubt. And when he did not win a title, when he hit his 30s, he started dropping off a cliff. But the career numbers are amazing. I think he's going to be remembered like Griffey. Luka Doncic is too young to say. So for me, Doncic is a bit of a wild card. So I'm going with the safe bet here, Trout.
Okay. The last thing I'll ask Jeremy is, did your fandom sway you toward Luka, or do you feel like you definitely the pick?
Great question, because I literally said I like to invest in people that I like. I like Trout a lot. I really feel for the guy. He gets hurt every year, man, every year. But he's such a great player, right? No, so honestly, no, that did not sway into my decision whatsoever. It was purely which one do I think is going to bring more ROI in 10 years? And if you watch Luka play, he is a dynamic player, man. 40 pounds heavy or whatever, I don't care. I'll take Luka plus 40 any day, So I just think he's such a dynamic player. Plus, sadly, he got traded from the Mavericks to the Lakers, and that's a huge market, obviously. So I just think he's going to crush it for a long time, and he doesn't have the string of serious injuries like Trout does. Trout's got a really bad back and, spasms out on him and stuff. So I felt Luka was going to eventually be worth a better investment long-term than Trout. Yeah.
I'll say that Luka definitely has more upside.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And I think what really started dipping Trout, first of all, he went way too high during COVID, wasn't sustainable, but people started realizing how often he gets hurt and felt it was a not as safe of an investment per what they paid for it at that time anyway. So they were liquidating their cards, which dropped the value. So, but to Chris's point, if Luka doesn't kill it, then he would be right and Trout would be the best, right?
I love
that would mean Trout I was wrong and Chris was right.
Dan said Trout is a second-tier Hall of Famer in 10 years. I love it.
Dan, savage Dan.
I love it. All right, let's move on here. All right, here's a fun one here. I'd love to hear from the chat on this one. It's more of what the chat is interested in is vintage baseball.
I like this one a lot.
You have to chime in on this one because
Yeah, so 51 Bowman set versus, it's hard to read that, but it's the 48-49 Leaf set. So obviously it'd be the same condition. Like I said, we're trying to compare apples to apples when it comes to condition and grade. So I guess do either of you guys personally love one of these sets more than the other as far as eye appeal and have more of the cards and things like that?
I love them, but go ahead, Chris. Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't have a huge preference for one over the other.
I love them both. I would have to go Leaf. I'd have to go Leaf. I mean, Mays and Mantle rookies are tempting, but I love the Leaf set, man. There's so many short prints in there. It's a tough set. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I might have been too easy on you guys on this one. After I sent it, I was like, maybe that wasn't hard enough, to be honest with you guys. Well, I think there's so many iconic cards, in that Leaf set. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, so both are loaded with important rookies, right? Mantle, Mays, Whitey Ford, and the 51 Bowman. But then in the 48 Leaf has even more because you got all the Babe Ruths and the Honus Wagners and DiMaggio, and on top of the Satchel Paige and Jackie Robinson, it's insane. Plus the Leaf is just way rarer.
Yeah, I mean, you got SPs like Hal Newhouser that are big money and high grade, stuff like that, right? So, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's. I think it was a great option to have the 51 next to it because it's such an iconic set because the Mays and Mantle, right? So
yeah. Well, what I did was, and I would pick Leaf, and like you said, the Satchel Paige really takes that set over the top, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got the Jackie and the Babe Ruth and everything. I actually swerved you guys. You guys didn't get this one ahead of time. So if I add the 52 tops in, does it change your mind at all, or are you guys still going with Leaf?
I would still go with Leaf. It's just so much rarer, and it's got just as many key cards as the 52 tops. I mean, the Mantle. I mean, the Jackie. The Jackie 48 Leaf is maybe on par with the Mantle. It's not, but it is sort of maybe long term.
But then you got the Satchel, which is way more valuable, right? So yeah it's crazy. Okay. It's a great set. Great set.
Oh, Stuke said 52. He's taking. Ruben said he's taking tops. Okay. All right.
Right on.
That's right. Ruben's the one who slighted me earlier. So
yeah, no more Ruben comments are getting put up. We got another leaf here. Okay. All right. Let's move on here. All right. This is fun. All right. We got this is a good one right here for the chat too. So
Yeah.
we got on card vintage autos. I know somebody in the chat that collects those. I'm trying to think of his name right now. I think I met him. And then we have don't get too distracted by the Skeens card. It's just any MLB debut patch card, any of them. And don't get the on card autographs on the screen. Same thing. It's just I needed to put examples up there. So was this a hard choice for either of you guys?
No, not really.
I mean, it's sort of like hard to compare these two because they're very, very different things. But no, it wasn't hard.
Yeah. You guys both went with on-card vintage autos have better upside than the MLB debut patch.
I'll tell you why it was not hard for me, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same for Chris. So if MLB debut is just hot, right? Well, what about the next thing that comes out? Will it still be hot? You know what I mean? And they keep coming out with more new stuff, which, makes sense because they want to keep the pool interested in new cool product that's coming out. But I don't know if debut is going to be worth much in 10 years, number one, because is that brand still going to command massive prices? And number two, are the players going to be doing any good in 10 years? Paul Skeens is a pitcher. Pitchers are very risky investments. So yeah, for me, it was an easy choice, vintage for sure. I could be dead wrong, and MLB debut is massive money in 10 years, but I would pick on cards vintage autos every time.
Yeah, the weird thing about the debut patches, it's a legit 1-on-1 card. In a day and age where they print 1-on-1s crazy, right? Yeah. It is a legit 1-of-1 in their rookie season. That's the only, and I understand your point though, is there's a lot of duds, right? So it's like give me the Ohtani one, I'll think about it. But yeah, I understand the point of what you guys are saying for sure.
No, that's a good point. You can't make parallels of those because there's literally only one debut.
That is a very good point, Theo. Very good point. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
But how many rookies are how many rookies matter in the long term at each year? Like, go back to pick a year, 2012. How many important names are rookies in 2012? It's like 2 or 3, right? So how many? I don't know how many debut patches they make a year. Is it a couple hundred? How many are there?
I don't know. That's a good question. It's probably around there.
Yeah. So So you're talking, maybe 1% will be a name that anyone cares about in the long run.
Yeah.
It's not going to be 1% because there'll be like Eric Davis level players who people care about. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, it's fair. Like I said, it's a hard question because you almost get to cheat for the test on the vintage autos. You literally go, okay, that's Hank Aaron. Like, that's easy. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, who is this guy? Is it even going to work out? So let's go to the next one here. This is a good one. I can't wait to see who wins in the chat. So Babe Ruth or Jackie Robinson cards. I think Rick's still here if he's not too mad at me. And I know Rick loves Babe Ruth. And I'd love to hear what Rick's take is on this one. So was this one of the hardest decisions for you, Jeremy?
This was a hard one for me. This was one of, if not the hardest decision for me, for 2 specific reasons. But yes, this one was harder for me. Yeah.
And Chris, how about you? Was this a hard one for you or no?
This was essentially a toss-up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have a match. You guys split. So obviously the Snowman went with the Babe and Chris went with Jackie. So Chris, why'd you go with Jackie?
Basically a toss-up. I mean, I think Jackie has something that can never be broken or never be toppled. He's the first color barrier. 100 years from now, he will still be the first to break the color barrier. Babe Ruth, his numbers he's not at the top of charts anymore. Don't get me wrong, Babe Ruth's the
Bambino.
He's the biggest baseball name ever. But I guess I don't know. That's like I said, it's basically a toss-up. That was the what I came up with for my argument for why.
Yeah, Jeremy, why did you let Ruth out edge Jackie, in your opinion?
Well, it's Babe Ruth. I mean, I think it's safe to say most collectors have seen Sandlot at some point in time,
Yeah.
and it's just so cool. The gentleman that won the Babe Ruth ball in my auction house, I was like, so you're going to go watch Sandlot now, right? And he's like, actually, I will. I didn't think of that. I went and watched Sandlot right after he won the ball. But, I mean, dude, Babe Ruth, the king forever of home runs. I mean, arguably the greatest baseball player that ever lived, I just felt like, major investors they're always going to want Ruth. They're always going to pay a premium for Ruth. There's every now and then there'll be a super rare Ruth come out every now and then that just adds more hype on all Ruth cards too. But the reason it was hard for me is because, to Chris's point, what he said, right? He's the first Black player that played baseball, but in the majors, but also, with more and more focal point being on races and racism and things like that, I just felt like having a lot of people would want to invest in the first Black player to ever play baseball, and he was truly an amazing guy off the field too. He was a great guy, So I just felt like the movie 42. Excellent movie. I just thought that would be a very solid investment, and it was really hard for me to choose between those two. But I ended up going with Ruth. What's that?
I mean, these are like both great options.
Yeah. I mean, if half of you said half of you said Jackie, you're both right. I mean,
no, we're not doing that today. You got to take a side. No.
Well, my side's Ruth, man.
All right, here you go. You guys can throw tomatoes at the screen now. We got, even though most people wouldn't know, we have the #1 Pokemon card that you can get.
Yeah.
It's the first edition Charizard against the O-Pee-Chee Wayne Gretzky. Now, does anybody in the chat want to go with the Charizard card? I'll go through this one quick. Did you have a hard decision here, Jeremy?
I wouldn't say hard. I thought about it, because Charizard, I mean, it's a very iconic card, but I couldn't say I had a hard decision. No, I did not. No.
How about you, Chris?
No, I mean, I'll say no, but that needs some explanation after I answer.
Yeah, I will. So I'll put it on the screen here, and I'll get tomatoes thrown on me. It's 100. You guys both picked Gretzky. It's 100% Charizard. You guys see what's going on right now with Pokemon, and this is the biggest Pokemon card you can own. Period. There's no Pokemon card bigger, and all these kids right now that don't have full-time jobs. In 10 years, they might have full-time jobs and they'll buy one. So, and Gretzky's getting forgotten about because of Ovechkin now. So, I'm sorry, you guys picked the wrong one.
No, yeah, you're way off base here, my friend.
No.
Well, so I'll say what I was going to say is, just like I was saying about the Star and the Fleer Jordan, the Charizard has way more upside, for sure. If Pokemon continues to grow, and this is the 52 mantle of Pokemon, yeah, it has more upside. I'm sort of thinking I tend to think much more conservatively as an investor, and the Gretzky is going to hold its value or trickle up for sure, or not for sure, but almost for sure. The Charizard anything could happen. Pokemon could collapse like Beanie Babies. Pokemon could be junk wax there. This could be an 89 Upper Deck Griffey, and there's 8 million. There's 1 million of these Charizards. It's not a rare card.
There's not 1 million of the first edition. No, there's not.
I'm asking. It's not.
Okay.
It's not like a pop 100 or something. There's
no,
them, right?
Yeah, there's thousands. Yes.
Yeah, it's not a super rare card. So it has more upside, but as a safe bet, I would take the Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky is not being forgotten.
Yeah.
He's the greatest hockey player of all time. Ovechkin is not the better than him. He did break one of Gretzky's many records, but Gretzky still owns the points record and a lot of other things.
I think to be honest with you, though, the biggest pushback as far as the debate that I thought you would say is, I thought you would say Pokemon is at its peak right now. So the biggest pushback to me is it's at its COVID peak right now. If you wanted whatever you want to call it, the peak, it's actually if you buy one today, you're an idiot. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Well, no, it could be at the peak. It could be just starting. That's something we don't know. That's why it's got more upside, but it's more of a gamble, I would say.
I think on all my answers, the one I could see me being dead wrong on would probably be this one out of the ones so far. But for the same reasons Chris said, I chose Gretzky basically.
All right, we'll stop. The chat's getting mad. All right, guys. Maybe you guys could appreciate this
No,
one.
I
here.
respect the take there, Theo.
100%. Yeah.
LeBron James cards versus Steph Curry cards. So, we'll start with Chris on this one. Chris, what was your thought process on this one?
It's another sort of close one. I think that well, I don't know if I want to give away my answer until you share, but it's close. I'm not a huge fan of either of these players.
We got a match. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I went LeBron. I think just he's the Jordan of the era, and GOAT. The GOATs are the better long-term picks. Curry did change the game more so in a way, much more than LeBron, and I think that may play a role. So I think Curry's a very fair pick here, but I'd pick LeBron just based on what we saw with Jordan.
Yeah, so go ahead, Jeremy. Give some love to LeBron. The chat's gonna love it. Go ahead.
Everyone's going Curry. Interesting.
Well, I can't give LeBron a lot of love. I actually am not a LeBron James fan at all. I'm a Jordan fan, but honestly, I think it's now. I know it's a big debate. Who's the GOAT, LeBron or Jordan? But it's not who's the GOAT, Steph or Jordan, right? Some people, I mean, maybe, and that's fine. But my point is, to me, it's a no-brainer. Jordan's the GOAT. But the fact that there even is a debate all the time, I mean, I'm gonna go LeBron. Plus, he plays in the Lakers, so places got, I don't know. I just thought LeBron would be a better investment long term.
He said Bronny.
Bronny.
This is the second one. I have to tell you guys are dead wrong. So
okay.
So yeah, so not just the chat. I think the chat for the most part was more Steph. But
that was more Steph for sure.
Yeah. Steph with how he changed the game and he's likable compared to LeBron, who's very opinionated and unlikable. Yeah. I think that's going to play in the future, and I think it's similar to we see other players that they weren't the best player in their sport, but they were iconic. You know what I mean? Yeah. The Derek Jeter. Is Derek Jeter the best shortstop ever? No. Is he the most collectible shortstop in the 90s? I'd say yeah. So I personally think Steph's going to be way more likable, way more collectible, and he's got room to grow, in my opinion. But
well, it's definitely not somebody like Ripken, right? I mean, that wouldn't even be a
Jeter is wildly overrated. We all know that.
Yes, he is.
No, your points are good. I don't have a problem with the take. Curry did change the game. But I think LeBron. I don't know. I don't have a good point here.
You know what I would have had a hard time with though was Kobe or LeBron. I would have had to really
Kobe or LeBron
about that. Yeah, I would have had to really think about that.
Does Curry has 4 rings? How many rings does he have?
Curry, I think he has 3, but he might have 4. It's either 3 or 4. Somebody in the chat can tell us.
LeBron has 4, right? LeBron 4 and Curry 4. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody in the chat saying 4.
How many did he win without Durant? Was it 2?
Yeah, 2 without Durant.
Okay.
All right, let's go on to the next one. What? Yeah. Go ahead.
No, the last thing I was going to say is LeBron was always the obvious best player on his team. The fact that Curry wasn't, I don't know if that matters, but.
Yeah, it's interesting. They had a super team, but I would argue when LeBron was in Miami, yes, he was the best player, but Dwayne Wade was a crazy second player.
And then Bosch was really good, so yeah.
All right, we only have a couple left. We only have 10 minutes left. We're at 90 people right now in the chat. So thank you guys.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right, so we have in 10 years registration or centering. What's the chat think about this one? And what do you guys think about the pictures I chose for this one?
No, it's pretty good. The center, the one on the right centered with some ugly registration and flipped on the left.
Yeah. So let's see here. We got a split decision here. We got some. Let's see here. We got centering, registration, centering. Registration, centering. Oh, wow, it's like back and forth, back and forth. Let's see if you guys have a match here. You guys both said centering. So, Jeremy, you want to start this one? Why did you say centering?
I mean, I just find it, talking to so many collectors and investors and dealers over the years, it's just while it's been more common to be the focal point, is centering or not, right? There are certainly a lot of collectors per the chat, right, that are like, man, I would take a gorgeous, deep color, awesome, sharp corners for the grade. It's just off centered. I don't care. Look at it. It's gorgeous. There's tons of people that matters more to them, and I can't debate that. I mean, that's obviously very important too. I just feel like when you look at a card, the first thing you see is, wow, that's dead centered. Oh my gosh, So I just find that's more of an importance. Plus, they didn't care if they were centered or not back then at all. There's tons of non-centered stuff, especially in 52 tops, for example. It's notoriously off-centered. So I just felt like centering would command more overall. Yeah.
Chris, what do you want to add to that?
So I'm a registration guy. I prefer a nicely a really clean image surface, clean surface more than I care about the centering. And way back when I was a kid, that was like centering wasn't as important as it is today. Centering has really become important lately, and I'm just sort of in answering this question, I'm just sort of going with that trend. Like it seems that the general collector cares more about centering. I don't fall into that, but I think the majority do.
I'll say this. I love well-centered cards. I'm actually building a centered 52 top set. And if there's a card that's dead centered and it doesn't have good registration, I don't want it. So registration is very important to me too. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to split the.
I know. I know. I know.
I understand. All right, let's. The chat went hog wild with that one. They were.
Yeah.
This is the last one. So let's see here, and we're right on time here. So more popular in 10 years, the National or Fanatics Fest. So what's the chat feel about this one? I'll start with Jeremy's. Jeremy, go ahead. Go through your thought process.
This one was. I had to give this one some thought, right? Because Fanatics is just.
Sorry.
What?
Strongsville is the answer. I didn't interrupt.
I don't know. What was the answer?
Oh, it's my boy.
Oh, Strongsville. Yes.
None of the above.
Well, I love that it's vintage show. That's awesome. But no, this one I had to give some thought because Fanatics is just has its hands in so many different things and are blowing up at a rapid rate, right? So. And they're doing a lot of very interesting things on the marketing side of things. I mean, they had all kinds of stuff, giveaways, big giveaways, all kinds of stuff for Fanatics Fest. But, the National at the same time, it's been going on for 45 years or something, a long time. And it is the clear number one show and has been for a long time. So I just felt like, I feel like they're going to adapt. And will that make them number one or not? I don't know. We'll have to see what I chose. But that was tough for me, Fanatics or National. I had to give that some thought. But I felt like, there you go. Thank you. I felt like, though, that the National would – the reason I picked the National is because, number one, it's been the biggest show every year forever. But number two, I feel like they're going to adapt as well. Like, Fanatics starts really creeping up to the National. I feel like they're going to see the things – that the Fanatics is doing that's creating that frenzy, if you will, and they're going to adapt to that. Now, I can't speak for the National. I don't know what they're going to do or not do, but I just felt like they would adapt and grow with the times as they change and what draws in a ton of people. But maybe not. And Fanatics is going to be the biggest in 10 years. Could be. So,
Chris, you're like the evil guy in the room. Why did you pick Fanatics Fest?
Is that evil?
Way to go, Chris.
It's the unpopular opinion, especially with vintage collectors, I think.
Well,
so
how could you see one?
So I've been to the National for I think I'm going to say 15 years in a row now. I haven't missed one in 15 years, and I have not been to the Fanatics Fest. So I don't know what I'm talking about here. But from what I saw, there was tremendous improvement from year one to year two. They learned a ton and made a ton and really adjusted to make it a whole lot better. And Fanatics has a bajillion dollars, whereas the National doesn't have anywhere sort of near that sort of backing. And I think Fanatics Fest is going to grow much quicker. And I think the national will just trickle along as it's been for the last 15 years. Yeah, it'll grow, but not at the rate Fanatics Fest. That would be my prediction.
Okay.
And yeah, and I'm not saying it's like it'll be better for collectors or for vintage collectors to go to Fanatics Fest. It won't be. I'm saying the question is which is more popular amongst the general audience. I think it's going to be Fanatics Fest. I think they know how to tap into an audience that the national does not.
Yeah. Well, what we should do though is we should set up. If you guys have a Clemente card at your table at the national, we should set up a fake trade where I come over and I negotiate a fake deal with you guys like they did at Fanatics.
Can you bring some like beautiful women around with you to like spice it up?
Yeah.
Well,
just
the hard thing for you, Theo, is you'll have to choose which beautiful woman, right? I mean, because I mean, look at just you got them all over.
Won't be easy.
So if I may, I'd love to know per the chat who won, me or Chris.
Yeah, that's a good one. Who won? Because you guys had 5 different answers where you didn't agree. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I was gonna say, throw Theo in there.
And Theo
in a couple though.
Yeah, just a couple. So we got to end. We got to end in about 3 minutes. Why don't I give you while they put up who they think won? Why don't Jeremy? Why don't you talk a little bit about what's going on with the collector investor auctions? What's coming up for you guys? Anything?
Yeah, lots of goodies, man. If anybody's not signed up for my newsletter, I'd love to have you guys sign up. We're going to be having several really awesome announcements and things. I'm also gearing up social media. It's on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram mostly. But my YouTube is going to be at Collector Investor Auctions, and it is up. You can subscribe and prepare for the videos that are coming. I'll be showing stuff like, consignments that came in, buys that I made, things like that. And I'll also be giving like sneak peeks of what's going to come in the next auction. But yeah, so we're breaking high grade 52 top set in this auction and next auction. So some other high grade vintage stuff, some really great stuff. There's a Super Fractor Jackson Holiday 101 Auto 1010 going in the August auction. It's going to be on display at the National. I would say the biggest thing is, CIA again is going to have a booth at the National. It's going to be 10070 is the number of the booth. 10070 table, I should say. It's going to be upstairs. Very excited to have that. So we'll have there the 52 Mantle. We'll have the Jackson Holiday Super Fractor Auto, and we'll have something there that's never been publicly sold in any auction house ever. That's very rare. Yes, and that'll be on display there as well. So really excited about all of that.
Awesome. John 3D just shared the site for you guys in the chat. So check it out. And like I said, you guys are helping sponsor Vintage Trade Night. So thank you guys once again for doing that. I know some people came in that weren't here earlier, so thank you guys for sponsoring Vintage Trade Night. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for asking. Yeah, really appreciate that. It's awesome.
Welcome. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up here. So if you're on this channel at the same time next week, we're going to be doing the Hobbypalooza wrap-up show. So I hope anybody that was in the chat tonight comes out, watches Hobbypalooza this year. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be great this year. I'm super excited about it. And thank you to the chat tonight. You guys were the real winners tonight. Thank you guys. You guys right here, Tony said it. The winner is the chat.
I love it. Love it.
So yeah, the chat. Your chat's awesome.
Great feedback.
I do a lot of these. This is a really really fun chat.
Yeah, really awesome feedback from the chat. I mean, things I didn't think about when I gave my answer. I was like, oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, should have thought of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so thank you, guys. It went fast. It felt like it was 10 minutes, but thanks, everybody that watched. We'll see you at Hobbypalooza. Bye, guys.
All right.